Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here to review my comics for the week of November 30th, 2011. Although right now, by the time you're seeing this review, it's December. Okay, first of all, I only have one comic this week. Only one individual issue came out November 30th that I had on my pull list. And unfortunately, that was the only comic. And while I was considering going back and reviewing the comics that came out November 23rd, I already pretty much boxed them up, bagged them, and boxed them, so I can't really get those out right now. And also, I really didn't take any notes, because usually once I'm done reading my comics, I like to take notes for the reviews. But last week I didn't do anything, and when I reviewed Fantastic Four, and mostly when I reviewed Fantastic Four 600, that was the only comic I intended to review last week, because, well, it was a big deal, and I said that was the moment that would help me decide which Fantastic Four books to get. And Future Foundation number 12 did come out this week, but I didn't get it because, well, see my review for Fantastic Four 600 to understand why. But alright, since I only have one comic, I will bring up some books that I did buy last week during the whole Black Friday sales buying period. Alright, so my one comic this week is Super Dinosaur number 6 from Image Comics. Alright, pretty much the cover takes place at the beginning of the issue, where we have Derek and Super Dinosaur in the ocean fighting off shark people that work for this villain called Squidius. And basically what SD and Derek are doing is they're setting charge bombs so that it will destroy a tunnel in the ocean that leads to the inside of underground Earth near the Dino Dome called Inner Earth, and they want to steal that up, so they're setting charges up while dealing with attacks from Squidius. Then Squidius appears, and they pretty much escape and arrive on land, but then Squidius somehow he makes a body of core, like, okay, he's a giant, Squidius is basically a giant squid, but he basically somehow makes a body of, like, arms and legs to fight Derek and SD on land out of coral. So he goes to fight them, but fortunately, thanks to SD and Derek's weapons, they're able to distract Squidius long enough so that they can explode the chargers, so that they can burn out the timer on the bombs, and they destroy the ocean tunnel, which considers their mission a success, but Squidius gets away. And once they get back to the Dino Dome, Derek builds for his friend Aaron another version of this little robot he has called Wheels, but she kept borrowing it frequently in the last two issues, and so he made her her own version of Wheels called Pixie. And also, SD does feel a little left out because lately Derek's been spending a lot of time with Aaron, but when SD runs into Aaron's sister Erica, they sort of, agree to hang out with each other just because SD feels a little lonely. And also, Dr. Dynamo, Derek's father, confronts Max Maximus over the revelation that came out at the end of the first story arc last issue, which was that apparently Derek's mother, also known as Dr. Dynamo's wife, is still alive, but Derek and Doc Dynamo have no memory of her, and Dr. Dynamo checked the Dinodome systems. Dinodome is their base, and he checks the systems, and apparently there's no record of her in the Dinodome whatsoever, but when Dr. Dynamo checks outside the system, like with official government documents, birth certificates, marriage licenses, he figures out that she did exist, and he pretty much confronts Maximus over why he and Derek don't remember her, and where is she and stuff. And Maximus tells him that he'll help Dr. Dynamo with his wife problem if he gets him out of prison. And back to the villains, though. Some other villains. A group of dinosaur experiments that were created by Max Maximus, the Dino Men, have apparently moved into one of Maximus's old bases, And back in the ocean, after Squidius has been defeated, all his little shark minions and this assassin he sent a couple of issues ago to steal Dinosaur, which is a rare element that is extremely sought after, have pretty much all turned on him in a mutiny, and they pretty much get ready to attack Squidius. And that's where the issue ends. Super Dinosaur number 6. It's a fun read. I like it. I mean, it's not necessarily superhero-ish, but it does have action, and it's very lighthearted. I would say that if you have kids who you want to get into comics, this would be a great comic for them to start their collections with. I like to read it because, well, in between all the superhero comics, which have a lot of action and dark, this one's just simple, pure fun, and I kind of like having that type of book on my pull list just to remind me that comics don't have to be about action and huge storylines. They can also just be fun. So I still think Super Dinosaur is a great title, and again, if you do have kids or like a younger brother or sister that you want to get into comics, then this would be a good book to introduce them to. Okay, well, time for a little bonus section since I only had one comic to review. I'm going to talk about 2 graphic novels I bought over the Thanksgiving, Black Friday holiday period. First of all, this was from a comic shop in my hometown that I had to visit because of family, and I went to this comic shop the day after Thanksgiving, and they had this, and, well, I think this should make my friend Toxity very happy. Spawn Origins, Volume 1. This is a reprint of the first 6 issues of Spawn with Al Simmons as Spawn, who I know both Toxity and my other good friend Dark Avenger CA6 prefer as Spawn instead of Jim Downing. But this is part of the Origins collection, which just basically reprints all the issues from the beginning of Spawn, which is great because I think it's perfect for Spawn noobs like me who don't know anything about the character and they want to get to where it begins. And well, this reprints the first 6 issues, and I have to say though that after reading this, it made me want more. Okay, it makes me want to check out the next volume, mainly because the last issue, issue 6, was part one of a 4-part, I think 3 or 4-parter story, and I want to see how that ends because it looks very interesting. Spawn, though, Spawn is actually a very interesting character because he was a man who died and now he's been brought back from hell, and now he has supernatural powers, which is pretty awesome. And I liked it. It was a great introduction to Spawn. I really hope I can read more of these in the near future, but right now I have to finish a number of series of graphic novels before I add another one. But still, I hope to check out the rest of this because it really is amazing. Alright, now for another graphic novel. Venom, Volume 1. This is Volume 1 of the new Venom series that came out a few months ago, written by Rick Remender, and it stars Flash Thompson as the new Covert Ops Venom. And of course, and even though we do have the average-looking Venom on the front cover, on the back cover we get the Flash Thompson Soldier Venom mode. And I have to say though, I did not read the Venom series when it came out though, and I did regret it. I really did, but I had some money, and I knew about the collected edition, and I read this, and I have to say that this is just it's very good. I mean, it's a new use for Venom. I'll give you that. Instead of being an anti-hero or a villain, Rick Remender has now decided to use the Venom symbiote as a way for the U.S. government to sort of create a covert ops super soldier. And also for Flash Thompson, too, there's a new character depth there. I mean, from what I knew about Flash Thompson was that he was just the bully, the high school bully who tormented Peter Parker, but then they eventually became friends, and he became a soldier and a war veteran, but that's really all I knew. But I think this kind of adds a new level to Flash Thompson, since he is Spider-Man's biggest fan. he now kind of has the opportunity to be like Spider-Man with the same powers and everything, but still he loses control of. There are a few times he loses control of the Venom symbiote in this, and I think it's slowly starting to bond with him. Still though, this is a good book. The Venom series itself is amazing. Again, I missed out on a lot of the Venom tie-ins. I've heard a lot of good things, even the Venom tie-ins to Spider Island. I mean, I've missed out on it, but I think right now I'm just going to I'm going to wait for the rest of the collected editions to come out for Venom, because it does look good. I mean, I liked Rick Remender's work, first volume of Uncanny X-Force, and I have to say, though, I do like this new Venom. Yeah, still pretty awesome. And since the holidays are coming up, since these are both volume 1s, I would recommend either one to be a good Christmas present, just as a nice way to introduce a comic book fan to another character if they haven't read Spawn, or if they're a Spider-Man fan and they haven't checked out this new Venom yet. So, that is my review. So, that is my reviews this week. Okay, again, Venom. New character depth for both new opportunity for the symbiote and Flash Thompson. Great start. Great start if you missed out on the Venom series by Rick Remender. Spawn Origin Collection, Volume 1. Great introduction to Spawn, since it collects the first 6 issues and leaves me wanting more, and I hope to check out the rest of it. And of course, the only comic this week, Super Dinosaur number 6. Still a very fun and entertaining series. It's definitely something that if you ever want to introduce a kid to comics, this would be the book. And well, that's all I have to say for this week. Oh yeah, one more thing, and this is sort of an update to me for my channel and stuff, but within the next, sometime around, I think on December 13th, I'm going to start sort of releasing a series of videos that kind of correlates to the 12 days of Christmas at that point. That's all I can say about right now, but I'm kind of keeping it top secret until I sort out the details. So that's all I have to say. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.